What's going on, everyone? My name is Eric Piccioni. I'm an American living in Russia. I wanted to share some gratitude with some big updates that have been going on. We were recently on this Russian TV show, the national Russian TV show, Mushkoye Zhenskoye. Once a year on Russian National Unity Day, they have a show called Doroga Domoy, and it's about people who are from Russia come back to their home country, whether it's from Canada or, in our situation, USA, or just other countries, and they end up finding their way back to Russia. And я очень благодарен, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm very grateful for that opportunity because of all the Americans that live in Russia. We were chosen, and I'm very honored to be chosen to be on the show, and I truthfully was more just happy to be there. My wife did an amazing job. She was talking 99% of the time, but it was awesome because we were able to share our story and give everyone an idea of where we came from and how we met and kind of where we're at now. And if you haven't already seen it, I would definitely check it out. I'll link to it in the description and in the comments below. But that was a really fun time. We went all the way out to Moscow, even though Moscow is not super far from us. It was a 4-hour ride, but it was great. We had some of the film guys come over and film us, and I made a fool of myself eating some blini, and how I normally eat it, and I was hoping no one would see behind closed doors how I eat my way, but it was funny. But yeah, it was a fun time. It was cool to share our story. But there's people from other countries, from like Canada, from India, that shared their story, and it was nice. But yeah, that was a really cool moment for us. And apart from that, we've got the holidays coming up that we're excited about. We've got a few friends that we're planning some trips with, some little vacations down the line. We're really just in a groove now. I feel like we're just so thankful to be here because we've got a nice little network or community of people that we've met through our kindergarten. I've met some people at English speaking clubs that I go to. I've taken up some part-time work here to do some English classes, and it's been really nice to assimilate more and more into the culture. And I find that the more into the country you get involved, the more you see the people for who they are. And it was cool. I had a first time experience recently too. I went to a public banya, a Russian banya, where they had like a sauna, a little like steam room, and just a little bit of everything. And then there was a little restaurant. You could watch the hockey game. Lokomotiv won that day, so it was probably a good luck charm that I was there. Just kidding. They won the championship last year, so they don't need my luck. But that was a fun day. It was me and a couple of my friends. We went there and spent like 4 hours. But it's cool. You go in and you pay. It's like 800 rubles, and you have unlimited access to all the amenities. So I was very surprised, and the sauna was very hot. It wasn't as hot as the dacha. I think it feels like we turned it up to 300 degrees when we used the dacha with my relatives, but they still made it comfortable. But you could use the leaves, and I forget the name of them, the ones that you hit yourself with the oils. You could use that, and you could dunk yourself in some cold water. It was a really fun time. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's not really much else. We're just in a groove. We've gone out with our friends. We usually have some night walks that we'll go, and hang out with people with. It's just a nice feeling to have a sense of community. And that was one of the biggest reasons that we even came to Russia, was to have a sense of community and a group that we could be with. And I saw a video a few days ago about this lady in America who was saying that any family that has the ability to drive 15-20 minutes to give their kids away to their parents for the weekend has won the lottery and is an extremely lucky person. And I mean, it's pretty much us every weekend. Like, we have won the lottery 10 times over, and we have 10 family members that we live, ideally less than 10 minutes away from, all in. Like, we could walk 2 minutes and be at my father and mother-in-law's house. And it is such a blessing, because that was one of the biggest reasons we wanted to come out here. And we're very fortunate, because the Russians and the mentality here is a lot more community based. And once you're involved, and once you're in a circle with people that you like, you're in the gang per se. So it's such a good feeling to be involved with people that you connect with. And I have friends that I don't even speak really anything to. I speak very broken Russian, and he speaks like 2 words of English, and we get along just fine. I have friends that I don't speak any common language to, but you could still get a sense for how someone's character is and how someone's soul is per se. And we're doing just fine, and I've got a good bit of friends, like a good community. Things are good. We're at peace, and that's something that I've been looking for a very long time. And unfortunately, I never really found it in the States. And I really hope that the States will sort of reprioritize their structure, because most people, the reason they're leaving is because of the system and the structure there. And I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon, but I can't say I'm a fan of the path the States is going down. And you look at countries like Russia or like China, where they invest in themselves and they reinvest back into their structure. China has made so much progress in the last 20-25 years than America's made in the last 50, because they've been focused on reinvesting in themselves. And the same goes with Russia. It's cool to see the amount of focus that some of these cities have, and the amount of care and attention they give to building out programs and incentives to build out the country. Because if you want to build a solid country, you should give benefits to your citizens and the people that live there. And Russia puts its money where its mouth is, because I don't know many countries that physically pay you to have kids. And that's such a cool feeling to know that they actually support families. And there are government buildings here that you can go if you're a citizen, and you can get baby supplies for free. You essentially lease it out, and we have strollers and walkers and eating chairs and all sorts of toys for our 9-month-old son. And he has everything he needs, and we didn't pay anything for it. And then once he's a little older and he doesn't need it anymore, we just go right back and return it, and we didn't pay a dime. And there's a lot of work to do in the States, but I'm very thankful that we have a support system nearby, and we have everything we need. And I'm thankful that we just have a good path ahead. And there's not much else for me to really say other than I'm thankful. I'm happy that I was able to share my story, and my wife and I were able to explain to the country, why we're here. And for anyone that's watching, I'm thankful for your support. It's just, I'm just a regular guy, but I mean, it's a bit unconventional to move across the world to a country that people have a massively misunderstood opinion on. And I hope in some way, shape, or form I can change or alter their perspective that you have, because this is not a bad country. I think they've been the most misunderstood country in the world for decades. And you know, I'm hoping that eventually one day the tides will change and people will understand what Russia is really about, which they have such a deep history and culture that needs to be preserved. And I think once you lose sense of your past and your history, you forget about how things are and how they should be. And then you have no values or no standard or morals or foundation on which you base your decisions, and things get very confusing for the future. And then you turn into a country where you don't know what's right and wrong, and it can get very chaotic when you don't have a sense of foundation or structure. So very thankful to be in Russia. I'm blessed every day because my kids have everything they need. They have awesome friends. We have great friends. We have amazing relatives. I mean, when you have everything you need and you're a family man, what else do you need in life? When your kids are happy, your wife is happy, or your spouse is happy, and you know, life is rolling. So that's all I've got. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment, hit all the buttons. That helps me a lot. And then follow me on Telegram. Have some additional posts that I'll make there. I also have an Instagram channel that I post on a little bit more frequently now. So check that out if you haven't already too. But thank you so much for watching. God bless and stay tuned.